When you're choosing a mate, you want to be very careful not to get distracted by choosing a person because you're choosing more than a person. You're actually choosing a life, a lifestyle, and a way of life. And it's a way of life that you may or may not be very familiar with. You are choosing to accept, adopt, or embrace an extension of your own philosophies, your own ideologies. You are, in short, asking to step outside of your limitations and or your limited parameters and share your life, the rest of your life, with another individual that you will learn from as each day goes by. You'll learn about yourself. You'll learn about your beliefs. Uh, you'll learn about your fears. It's so much that goes into sharing your life with another person that it's not just limited to choosing a person. You are basically having to stop down and look at your rationale for why you're choosing this person. That's what I'm asking you for when I ask about what are your methods. I'm asking you, what is your rationale for choosing one life as opposed to another? What is the mindset that's driving your decision? There are two possible mindsets that you could go into when you're choosing a mate. You could choose your mate from a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Now, this is important because if you choose a mate based on a fixed mindset, then you're not expecting to grow. You're not expecting to change or to learn or to continue to develop as a man or a woman, because a fixed mindset suggests that you are content. You've reached a level of complacency and you do not wish to grow or develop outside of your comfort zone. And so you will choose a mate based on your mate's ability to feed that level of contentment. Now, in the short term, that may seem like the easy choice, but that contentment over a period of time can turn into resentment if you look up one day and realize that you don't like the fact that you're not growing and developing and that you are more or less stuck where you guys met from a growth and developmental standpoint. But you have to remember, if you made a choice with a fixed mindset, then you chose a mate that did not require you to address your own weaknesses. You chose a lifestyle that allowed you to do whatever it was that you wanted to do, everything outside of growing and developing and continuing to mature. And at the end of the day, the person that you chose did not add to your development as a man or a woman. And if you think that you do not have any room to grow, if you are of the mindset that you have arrived and that you are, for lack of a better term, flawless, and that there are no corrections needed, there's no development needed, then let me be the first one to tell you that therein lies your problem. You see, we have turned into a society to where if something challenges those elements inside of your comfort zone, you begin to take issue with the person or the thing that challenges or at least questions those elements in your comfort zone, those things that you are content with. But again, in enough time, that contentment can turn into discontentment, because inherently we want to grow and we want to develop. And so when you're choosing a mate, there has to be some degree of compatibility towards your growth and development, and the further maturation of you mentally, emotionally, intellectually, and otherwise. Now, I know there are some of you you've already experienced marriage once or twice, and you may be at a place to where you don't want a lot of change going forward, and that's understandable. But you have to think about where we've come from a belief about what divorce actually represents. You know, there was a time when those of you who have been married, or almost married for that matter, and you had to start over, and there was a setback. Well, we used to look at that as some level of devastation, some level of difficulty. We saw it as families being torn apart. We saw it as a period where a person has to start over, and that's difficult. But we've now taken that same concept and we've flipped it, and now people are having divorce parties. And I guess you can put a positive spin on just about anything. But the point is, at the end of the day, when you end one relationship, or if your marriage ends in divorce, then that's really an indication that somebody got it wrong. And that's okay, as long as you learn and grow from the previous relationship. Otherwise, you carry that fixed mindset into the next relationship, and the next marriage, and the next divorce, and the next divorce party, and into the next relationship. And the next thing you know, you look up and 10, 15, 20 years has gone by, and you're still basically where you were when you first thought you were in love. No growth, no development, no maturity emotionally or otherwise. And so the decision-making method is really, really that important. And at the end of the day, if the idea is to increase your odds to get it right, then that should be inspiration enough or motivation enough to want to continue to grow and develop. Remember, I'm only here trying to help. I want for you what I want for myself. I want you guys to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live a life of longevity and fulfillment. But above all these things combined, I wish upon you many, many blessings. And as always, my name is Jay Jackson, and I am looking forward to your response. I hope this information has been beneficial for you.